everybody. I'm here with Sterling.
Good
Ta-da.
morning,
We haven't been
everybody.
together in a couple of months, and it that probably worked out because you guys had the little touch of something. And
Yeah,
uh,
well, actually, I think we took kind of November, December kind of off, and now we're into January right now. And yeah, we were just talking about for 1 week there, I caught this flu going around or whatever it was. So
he
wasn't
got the same thing I got, but I was sick for 3 weeks.
yeah, and only a week for me. So who knows? Knock on wood.
Knock
So
on wood. All right. Thank you to Linda and your team for getting the questions for us. I haven't looked yet.
exactly,
I
exactly.
like going cold turkey.
Yeah, and they try to make sure that whatever questions end up on your show aren't on our show, so we're not repeating
You're not
questions. So
repeating. Yeah, she
yeah.
knows. She's so good at what she does.
She is, yeah.
She's very good. Okay, so question number one. Oh, do you have any announcements you want to make, by the way?
No, no major announcements. No.
Okay, okay. Will corporate jobs continue to diminish? Unemployment is at an all time high among professionals. Will there be relief soon?
So we're going through a big metamorphosis in all white collar and blue collar jobs right now. So it's not, so the economy's going through is flexing, and also we're getting a lot of integration of AI. So by 2030, nearly every job category will be changed due to AI. So this is actually a lot of dynamic things going on right now. So I would just tell everybody, yes, white collar job, blue collar jobs, everything is under stress due to evolution of AI. Everybody get trained in AI, ramp up on that AI, and we're going to get there. But it's going to be a little big transition year for 2026.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it does feel like something will switch up. It feels like a couple of years, but yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, will DeSantos be allowed for by Florida Republican Supreme Court to gerrymander Democratic districts relative to the 1965 Voting Rights Act?
It appears he's going to have some success on what he's trying to accomplish there. And it looks like he is going against or trying to go against the Voting Rights Act,
Yeah.
saying maybe that it favors Democrats more. So it looks to me like he's actually going to have some success with trying to counterbalance that. Yeah.
Do you see a mass influx of people though voting? So
Oh, sure. Yeah, this round right now, the angry bear has come out of hibernation, so to speak. So, I mean, every day that goes by, you can see more and more people removing themselves from what's going on around the GOP. So, yeah.
yeah, this guy just wrote and said his neighbor always had his Trump flag up. He said he took it down, and all these years he never took it down.
And a lot of staunch Republicans now, if you ask them, let's say, well, you're Republican, they go, no, I'm independent. So they're trying to distance themselves, from the whole
Well,
thing.
it's
Yeah.
just yeah, it's we all know how sad it is. But
Yeah.
I told everybody, and I think you probably feel the same way too. Everybody's so scared about the midterms, and are they going to be able to cheat? What I'm feeling, it's going to be such an influx of votes against the GOP. Unlike when Elon Musk could play with it when it was close, they're not going to be able to play with it because it's huge.
Yeah, there's going to be better vetting technology behind the scenes using AI. It's our friend AI to be able to take a look at, do, cross analysis and say, does this even make sense? For example, basic calculations like if you add up all the votes, is that more votes than people in the state? Did basic calculations.
Right,
They'll say, look,
exactly.
it's off here. You can't have 10% more votes than people in the state, for
There
example.
you
Yeah.
go. There you go. My son just last night told me he's an engineer and he's been
Mhm.
using AI for some of his work. He said, Mom, it's fantastic.
It's a wonderful tool if used properly, and it's going to evolve just like the internet evolved and the way
Yeah.
cars evolved. This is part of the evolution of humanity, but it's an incredible tool in many areas. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Will King Charles visit the U.S. in April as scheduled, despite the current tension with the EU over potential invasion of Greenland?
It looks to me like he will, but I do see, and I want to put a footnote here, like severe health problems for King Charles. So there's something there that may attenuate a little bit. Looks like he will make the visit. It looks like he will. And it looks like the Greenland threat has changed a bit, right?
Yeah.
45 has changed what he's going to do. I still see a ramp up in troops there in Greenland, but as far as the King Charles visit, looks like that's going to
Well,
happen.
apparently it's not up to him. It's up to somebody who's a Trump fan over there in the UK.
Hmm.
He has to do what they say. But what I got was there's going to be mass protests if he does show up. It's not going to be a comfortable visit. Okay, can ET serve as spiritual guides? If so, do all humans have at least one ET spiritual guide?
No, extraterrestrials don't serve as guides. They are integrated with a number of people right now that are working with them collaboratively on science, technology, health, world peace, a number of very important tasks going on, but they never serve as guides per se. They're collaborators is really a better way for it. But they're not guides, no.
Okay. Will Prince Harry win his legal case against the Daily Mail?
I see that he will. And I think this is the third round in another like legal battle with publications for him. Yeah. It looks like he will win. He's been pretty successful. Looks like that success is going to continue here. Yeah.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Will the East Coast keep getting pounded by ice and snow fall after January 31st? And ice and snowfall after January 31st.
Yeah, and that's really we're talking about the next week here, right? We're on the 25th here of January. It's going to continue. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I did a show on our channel where my guide said, big storm activity for the Atlantic region of the country. So my team saw it coming. It's going to be around for
Yeah.
a couple of weeks here and there.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody wrote me and said on my predictions that I had said big time snowstorms are coming.
Hmm.
Unusual snowstorms on the East Coast. 5 people have already died. Three died in New York from exposure.
Yeah, there's going to be, this is a very bad storm activity in the history of the nation.
Yes.
So this is a bad one. And I always wonder when my team always tells me what's coming up the next week. I always ask them, my spiritual team. Sometimes they say things, and I say, "Really?
I
Is that really?"
know.
They go more, major Atlantic area storm for the country. I go, "Really? Okay."
Okay. So is 45 going to damage Mexico's economy by sending ship patrols into the region to drop some kind of poisons into the water? I haven't heard
I
anything.
don't see poisons being dropped in the water. I do see a lot of military ships, moving through the region and trying to create some disruption. Although the disruption doesn't look successful, looks like it's more like being able to avoid anything going on there. And so I don't see a major disruption there because of that. No.
Okay. I have a beautiful trans daughter. Will things escalate for the trans community or will 45 be pulled from office before that happens?
Interestingly enough, 45 is exacerbating the problem, but that's not fundamentally where a lot of the problems exist. They kind of exist throughout society and humanity. I see a lot of things by the year 2032, like that presidential election, at least in the US, starting to really calm down for entire LGBTQ plus IA. Humanity is really starting to figure all this out, that it's not an aberration of society, it's part of society. But so 45 is really actually a small component in terms of kind of the long-term rollout here. It's going to get better by 2032.
Good, good. Well, that's still a ways away, but
Yeah.
will there be a cure for angiosarcoma, which is a rare aggressive cancer that forms in the inner lining of the blood on lymph system vessels?
There will be, that's about 5 to 7 years out, but what I'm getting is that there's better scientific models being created, right? A lot of scientists will create like models to try to model the disease. And if they can
Right.
repeatedly model the disease, then they can figure out, it looks like within 5 to 7 years here, there's like a genetic engineering breakthrough for that. So that's coming. That's right on the horizon. A lot of cancers are the low-hanging fruit for genetic engineering. Neurological, Alzheimer's, cancers, those things are the first things to be tackled by CRISPR.
Oh, yeah, I've been reading a lot where CRISPR's involved.
Hmm.
I always say Sterling was saying that way back when.
Yeah, like 6, 7 years ago, when my
I
guys
know
first
you
brought it up,
mentioned some.
I said, CRISPR? What's CRISPR? They said, trust us, it's genetic engineering.
Yeah, and it's happening.
The funny part was, a quick side note, there's now thousands of companies working on CRISPR technology. There was one company, I think, that tried to name themselves CRISPR, and everybody thought that, oh, it's that company. No, it's thousands of companies. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Will ICE be stopped from committing ongoing crimes? Will police eventually charge them with crimes and protect many communities?
It's going to be an ongoing problem for the better part of this year, 2026, till we get out past the election. And unfortunately, there's really more hate, anger, violence. It's still going to be with us better part of the year. Yeah.
I know when the first girl had been
Renee
taken out,
Good?
unalived, yeah.
Renee Good,
Uh,
yeah.
and then now this man, who's a nurse, a VA
Hmm.
nurse, as doctors and nurses said he was the cream of the crop. He was a wonderful man, and they called him something I can't remember. And but back when it happened to her, I said more is coming. Unfortunately, that's my hit, was that we're going to have more. And I also see ICE people getting hurt. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
no, that's going to happen as well. And I think Christy Nome is going to be out very shortly.
Oh,
She'll,
yay.
yeah, she'll fall on the sword. Everybody say, well, it was her fault. So,
Right. And how about Pam Bondi? I hope that's not in the
yeah,
question.
Bondi, Cash Patel, there's a whole group of them. Voight, will be
How,
out.
they say Pam Bondi's a Scientologist. I heard that somewhere. Is that true or
No idea.
me
No.
neither? But then when she says you give us your voter rolls and we'll get ICE out of there, oh my goodness, that was terrible.
Yeah,
So,
the entire administration is a den of thieves. It's just a den of thieves. So.
and he's just making money off of whatever he can, and he want. Oh, but Putin said he's not going to join that peace group until they recognize the Palestinians.
That peace group you're talking about, the new organization that
Yeah,
45 developed, it's going to flame out.
that's what I was feeling, and I
It's going
also
to flame
feel a
out.
lot of people, including Putin, even if he joined, don't have the $1 billion.
Yeah, it's like throwing something at the wall, see if it sticks. But the United Nations will still be the carrier of like peace negotiations and the principal entity that's really going to do it. United Nations, yeah.
Well, didn't uh, NATO? Didn't you and I talk years ago about Ukraine eventually being part of NATO? I think that's
Well,
getting
they
ready
will.
to
Yeah,
happen.
I see several, part of my predictions. I saw two additional countries joining NATO this
Yeah,
year.
one of them is
Yeah,
Zelensky. I'm telling you.
yeah.
When will 45 freeze on immigration from 75? When will the 45 freeze on immigrations from 75 countries be lifted?
I get summer of this year. I know that just went into effect like a week ago or maybe this week, but for some reason it gets relaxed by summertime. It could be late summer, like August, but
Wow.
for some reason there's enough pushback there where they just kind of throttle back on it. Yeah.
Well, there's people going out and marching, let me tell you.
Hmm.
45 is deteriorating more and more every day. Will the pressure from the businesses in other countries finally move the Republicans to address this problem?
And the question comes up in regards to his health or overall
Well,
policy.
he's looking really bad, so will the
Yeah.
Republicans finally
But I don't
turn
think
around?
health is not going to be the reason everybody moves away from him. It's going to be making 1,000 difficult decisions. It's interesting as a side note, The Simpsons predicted a lot of this over the years around 45.
Right.
So it's very interesting. His health problems, what he's doing on the world stage, the tariffs. It's very interesting. So art is imitating life.
Isn't that something? The SCOTUS ruling on Citizens United ruled corporation can effectively be treated as individuals, allowing them to contribute to political campaigns. Will Congress eventually outlaw this practice?
Yeah, that was a Supreme Court ruling. And that, for me, as we get up past 2028, that presidential cycle, there's something going on with the Supreme Court being
Oh, they're gonna clean it
reconfigured,
up.
and that
Yeah,
Citizens United will eventually be struck down. Yeah,
that's what I feel too.
yeah.
Will the U.S. invade Canada?
No, but I see a lot of conflict at the border and also a lot of tariff problems, so a lot of economic problems. So there's a lot of economic problems, border problems, tariff problems. Those will continue for like another year, and then that will start to calm down.
But I strongly feel, in fact, the Trump administration is already talking about it, that SCOTUS will say you can't do tariffs.
Yeah, they're actually rolling them back gradually.
Oh, okay.
It seems like some of them are still going to stick, like maybe 10, 20% of them across certain countries. So I feel like 80% of them will be pulled back. Yeah.
Okay, great. Is there a giant mothership under the ice in Greenland?
No, there is a giant mothership and a large triangular pyramid power station in Antarctica, but not in Greenland. Greenland has about half a dozen extraterrestrial bases, but not a spaceship under the ice in Greenland. No.
Okay. Will Canada, Alberta separate? There seems to be a great deal of talk about this topic.
No, I don't see a successful separation from that. I know it gets talked about a lot. Is that Daniel Smith? Is that her name? Is she the one? Daniel?
I don't know. I don't know
Uh,
anything about this.
yeah, there's kind of a 45 protege there in Canada. I think it's Daniel. I'm just going from memory here, but and, yeah, it's not going to happen. No.
Did we already read if no? Is Prince Harry going to win his lawsuit?
Yeah, I think we did. That was in the beginning of
I
the
thought so.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like
This,
third time around for him, and yeah.
yeah, that's right. You talked about it. I'm curious about Grok AI. Do you see any major issues with AI platform or with Elon Musk getting even more information?
Yeah, so that leverages off of Elon Musk's XAI platform, Grok AI, and yeah, that's actually kind of a loose AI engine. They don't really screen it very hard, but in relationship to Elon Musk, he already has access to a lot of information through Doge, so the Doge activity. So yeah, I mean, let's just put the horses out of the barn already on that one. If
Okay.
people are worried about what's to come, it already happened. So.
What is Stephen Miller's role when 45 is no longer in the Oval Office?
A cheerleader from the sidelines. So he's going to try to carry the portfolio of Project 2025. You know, he'll be a cheerleader from the sidelines, try to influence where he can, try to do op-eds. Yeah, so just he'll keep mouthing from the sidelines.
But will he eventually be put in jail for his crimes?
I think he's going to get escape.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't see jail time for him. I always saw jail time for Bannon, remember? And he did serve like 6 months. There are
yeah.
certain people I definitely see in jail or prison, but it looks like he'll escape. Yeah.
How about Pam Bondi and Christy Nome?
Looks like they'll litigate their way out of it. So I don't see jail time. I see a lot of court time, but they'll litigate their way out of it and end up with, probation or something. Yeah.
Well, even what's his name, Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Okay, Richard Nixon's people had to serve jail time. What is okay? The Earth's magnetic polar shift is ongoing and takes place in cycles. Right now, it's speeded up to 5 miles per year. I feel like all this weather is prelude to the bigger change we're we're too occupied to look at. What do you see in this regard?
So this is an important topic. I mean, thanks for bringing it up, whoever asked the question, because people always talk about the pole shift. So we're talking about a magnetic pole shift, not a geometric pole shift. Yes, the Earth pole shift happens every several 100,000 years. I think the last time it was like 780,000 years ago. When the magnetic pole shifts, it actually creates problems for exposure, sun events to the Earth. It creates problem for networks and satellites, migration patterns for animals, navigation systems for aircraft. That's all true. It doesn't cause devastation for the Earth. It doesn't cause massive earthquakes. So, a lot of people, the two topics I want to get across here, it's magnetic pole shift. It happens naturally every several 100,000 years for the Earth, and a lot of navigation, animal migration problems, not devastation for the Earth. But yeah, it's moving my team says 5 miles per year
Yeah.
is magnetic pole shift. Yeah.
Wow. Will we need to get the new digital IDs to prove we are U.S. citizens?
Well, worldwide, it's coming. Digital IDs are coming. So it's a fact of the way the world's going to be shifting here, especially around AI. But within a few years, every country will be utilizing digital IDs. And yes, part of it will be whatever your background records are, your passport, your proof of citizenship. But and actually, many people will opt in for like a little digital chip you can put in your palm, like the way you tag animals. When you go to the vet and they put a tag in the
Yeah,
animal,
yeah,
they can scan it with RFID. A lot of people, those digital IDs will end up being little things you implant like into the palm or your finger or something. Yeah, it's
that's
coming. Mhm.
fantastic. But so they're just talking about it now. Because can't you ID your children too? Don't they have some sort of little implant? Or not yet?
I don't know that they're doing that yet in hospitals, in prenatal wards or anything. I don't know if that's going on, but this technology is coming. Yeah.
Will the venerable monks and Aloka, the peace dog, make an actual difference, meaning they are waking up more people in our country as a result of their walk for peace from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C.? Thank you.
These are all about the monks that are doing
Yeah,
the walk. Yeah. It's actually one of like 1,000 helpful things for humanity right now. One of 1,000. So it's very helpful, but it's part of a larger picture of things ongoing here. So it does every event that takes place like that brings certain people into the fold and wakes them up. I think that's the key. That monk event is waking up a lot of people to saying, hey, there's more important change here across humanity. But it's one of like 1,000 different things going on. It's a good thing. But
it's good. Yeah. A memo was released by ICE instructing agents to violate the U.S. Constitution. ICE told officers and agents that they can forcibly enter homes without a warrant signed by judges. The memo was, I, I kind of got cut off. The by homes to enter.
I think that's referring to there was a leak that occurred with some whistleblowers about the new policy to enter without a warrant or something, right? That's been all over the news.
Yeah, the memo was from an ICE acting director.
Right. And it got leaked by some whistleblowers in the news or something.
And which
I
was
think
shared with Richard Blumenthal.
mhm.
So is
Those
that for real or no?
Yeah, that memo is real, but I see there's going to be a lot of pushback nationwide against that. So the very fact that that now saw the light of day, everybody's saying, "Oh, that's not ours. We never intended to do that." Now, it's going to happen in a couple of circumstances, but I don't see that rolling out across everything now that the light of day is on it. Yeah.
But will people take up arms and shoot anybody that try to start breaking down their door?
Some will, but I
They
don't
have that
see.
right.
They have the right. I see more shooting in the streets, though, to your question. I see
Wow.
more shooting happening in the streets than I do at the front door of your home.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've had a bad feeling even for the ICE people because I'm not that I'm agreeing with them, but I'm telling you, some of them are going to get taken down, and I see like assassins hiding in buildings and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. There were some pictures floating around the media. You always have to take it with a grain of salt, but it showed certain people that were in the January 6th insurrection, and then
Yeah,
there were also ICE officers. It showed like the two pictures. It showed them in the crowd at the January 6th insurrection, and then it showed them like in current cities in the U.S. So there's definitely a cross correlation there with people that were aggressive on January 6th with
yeah,
ICE.
they like it, boy. They love it.
Yeah.
What do your ET friends have anything they do your ET friends have anything they want to share?
This week, they want to say that they're actually working diligently on some power plant nuclear issues and some other things going on there to try to contain them, as well as like some aggressive war efforts for some countries. So they're working overtime right now, and actually, it's just like, boy, the last time I kind of communicate with them, they're just saying, boy, you guys are just making everything crazy. Humanity is going crazy right now. We're working overtime. So.
It's kind of good to see the good part of humanity, though. There's some really good people out there.
Yeah, well, this is a rebirth of the nation, a rebirth of the world, much the same
Yeah.
way that happened around the time of, Germany and the Nazis or 1776. This is a rebirth of the world, and everybody that is here agreed to be here right now during this whole 3 decade reset, 2020 to 2050. We talk about that all the time. Yeah.
So, before I do the last two questions, I want to ask, do you see possibly my poor friend Lisa's power went out. She lives in Kentucky and she said, Linda, it's freezing cold. And she got kitties too. Do you see maybe by tonight it lightens up, or Monday? When do you see a little bit of a it stops sleeting and snowing?
Are you talking about the storm
The
activity?
storm that's happening now. 5 people have already died.
Yeah. It's going to be with us for another 48 hours, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah. Before it starts to like crest and start to turn the corner. So, but it's going to have a kind of a long tail, which means that, the major portion will be over. It's going to take a while for everything to calm down and weather patterns to calm down. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel so bad for people. New
Mhm.
York, 3 people died, but I think they were the homeless. They didn't seek shelter. Okay, what do you see coming up next week?
We talked about some of that, but I still see a lot of network and power outages going on as a result of the storm activity. So we talked about power outages. I'm talking about network outages now, internet, cellular communications, satellite communications. I do see concerning a couple of nuclear events around the world, but I'm talking about nuclear power plants. So something going on here in Europe, and even like the Middle East, or around Ukraine here. So there's two like different this week, like power plant issues. They'll get addressed, but they will get addressed. I also see that for some reason there's more information coming out this week on 45 regarding like documents that weren't handled right, or payoffs, like secret documents that were given in exchange for something else, or some sort of a document thing going on here. And also more Epstein information coming out, like more significant survivors coming forward this week. So a lot of activity this
A
week.
lot of activity. And do you have anything your guides want to share?
Yeah, very simply put, stay focused on the best outcome for yourself and the world, and this will help change everything around you in the world. So that's the opposite of like leaning into fear. Very
Yeah,
easy to lean into fear, looking at everything. As a footnote, I watch maybe 10 minutes of news a week on purpose. Well, sometimes a couple of days, 10 minutes, but I don't dwell on it. I just, I put a toe in the
yeah,
water, kind of see what's going on. But really, if you stay too much time in fear, a lot of times the talking heads, they repeat the same thing 6 hours over, right? Every
yeah.
six
And in
hours the
our
same.
business, we kind of got to look at what the headlines are to kind of get an idea of what's going on. I
Right. So
feel
that
really good about the future. I don't feel afraid at all.
No, this is like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. This is a rebirth. This is a rebirth for humanity.
Yeah,
All the things going on right now are pointing to all the cracks in the dam. These are all the things that have to get fixed, right?
yeah,
People have gotten very, unfortunately, very lazy. If it didn't happen in my town, I don't care. And well, no, you have to start to care now for humanity. And I just got a
yeah,
cold chill when I said that. My team
yeah.
was like, we now have to start sticking up individually for humanity, not just you and your family. It's everybody. We're all in
It's
this together.
everybody. Yeah. Worry about the children and human beings. I love it.
Hmm.
So, you probably don't have openings for readings, right?
No, we're all booked up for one-on-one sessions. However, we do have, this platinum membership on YouTube, gives you access to hundreds of videos. I do live streams on Fridays, where I answer a large range of personal questions for viewers, and we do mediumship and have a lot of instructional videos. So people can join our platinum YouTube membership, and the join buttons on the front page of YouTube, Sterling Psychic Medium, as well as our website, sterlingpsychicmedium.com. There's also a membership tab on the website that explains everything about the membership. So that's the best way if people want to get in contact with me or interact or get a question answered, is
Right.
the platinum membership. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. It used to be in the old days, you'd have a couple openings and now it's gone. Gone, baby, gone.
No, it's unfortunately, we're very blessed in that area, but the one-on-one sessions are not a thing right
Yeah.
now. So,
Well, I don't
but
know about, I retired a couple of years ago.
mhm.
I'm just exhausted. So, All
Yeah, yeah.
right, Sterling, thank you very much.
A
Everybody
pleasure.
thanks you. It's just a delight seeing you again.
A pleasure getting together and got to do this more often. All the best to and have fun today because you got some fun
Thank
things
you.
going on. So
Yeah, and tell your wife I said hi.
I will.
Her and I
Absolutely.
talk. Her and I talk.
No, I know. I hear all the background commotion. Linda G, she just texted me.
All right, sweetie, you take
All
care.
righty. Take care.
Bye, everyone.